Well, good morning, everybody. Let me check some sound here. Looks all good. I think we are happy. Good morning, Brewmeister. How you doing? Nice that you could drop in. Let's see if anybody else can. Just don't know. Sometimes people make it, sometimes people don't. Oh man, it's been a heck of a week to be honest with you. Um, the BarGirl Interview series has been pretty darn successful. Seems to be a lot of interest on that. Good morning, Hoppa. How are you? Aloha. Let's see here. This week we've got a couple of things we've got to get going. We're gonna have to take the car, get it washed tomorrow. No, today, and then tomorrow. It's time to get the registration renewed and the inspection. So that'll be a pain in the butt, but it's one of those things that we have to deal with, that's for sure. Let's try and see what else is going on. Still, Heath McDaniel, good morning. Well, it's morning here, Heath. I'm not sure what it is where you're at. So I don't know how many of you caught the live stream that Mike's Philippine Journey did this morning, but if you haven't seen it on Filipina Scams, I highly suggest you go to his channel and take a look. It was incredibly interesting, to say the least. Yeah, you know what? Here we're just trying to get ready for a bunch of different stuff. We've got Arlen's. We're flying most of Arlen's family up um, next month. I think on like the 11th or 10th. I can't remember what day. Flying them up, and then we have a wedding to go to. So, good morning, John from Charlotte. Glad to have you. Nice to see you. Miyagi, long time no see, but I think we're going to cure that in a couple of days. When do you actually start on your actual flights? And you're coming, I think you're coming from Japan. I think you're currently in Japan, so it shouldn't be too bad for you. Yeah, Hoppa, the Jessica Soho special. Arlene walked in the middle of that live stream and she goes, "What the hell are they talking about? What is Mike rambling about now?" And I said, "No, this is like from some famous newscaster Soho." And she goes, "Jessica Soho?" And I said, "Yeah." So apparently, the woman's pretty famous. I didn't realize it, or I didn't know, anyways. Yeah, my mom is cold in Charlotte this morning. Hey, Farsight, how you doing? Glad you could make it. Oh, I will tell you, going to the bars and entertaining girls for 4 or 5 hours, that takes a day or two to recover, as far as I'm concerned. Hey, Bruce. Oh, I'm sorry. Bruce didn't get a notice. I scheduled it yesterday, so so Miyagi says he arrives on the 24th, but he has to work as soon as he lands, so he'll have 2 days off to visit his dad. Okay. I don't know why you didn't get a notice, Bruce, but I guess that's YouTube. What can I say? For those of you that have seen the BarGirl series, I'm actually taking recommendations for questions and for our next foray into that. Um, Now, some stuff we can't really ask. Some stuff we might ask, but we may not be able to print their responses. But if you've got recommendations, let us know. Hoppa said he didn't get a notice either, but that's YouTube issues. I wonder if it's because I don't schedule it through YouTube. I schedule it through my live streaming software is Ecamm Live, and I schedule through Ecamm Live. I wonder if that's why people aren't getting the notices. Perhaps I should schedule through through YouTube itself, but it connects to YouTube because it schedules it. So I don't know. If somebody did get a notice that I was going to go live, let me know. Maybe I should be trying something else. Good morning, Ricky. How's things going? Hope you're doing well. Farside asking if Miyagi's in Japan. So, anyways, it's been, like I said, it's been interesting. It's been funny. The responses. Miyagi said he already sent in my questions, but really curious how many of them have exit plans, if any at all. You know what? I've never asked them. I really and truly have. And I think that your guess is probably going to be the same as mine. It's going to be a typical Filipina thing where it's going to be, I'll worry about tomorrow. I won't worry about it today. Now that's not necessarily true. I do have an interview coming up. We interviewed a young lady that we know, and she is really on top of the game, if you want to call it like that. Okay? She's a solid 10. Her smile, her looks, everything. She's not going to have big boobs, but, she has a condo in BGC where she has a nanny and her kid, and she goes home on the weekends and stuff like that from Angeles, and she has an apartment here. So, it's obvious that she's planning, but she is highly acclimated. Her English, her vocabulary, it's all like 100% right on the market. And she's a pretty solid, nice person. We actually personally know her, but it is what it is. John at My Little World. How you doing, John? Thank you for joining us. David, hello. Hello, David. John says he got a notice. Okay, it's just YouTube being screwy. Elvis, honka honka, burning love, indeed. Ricky, doing great. We just heard they took down the walking street sign. Yeah, they're redoing that entire boulevard or street. And yes, I'm going to be interested to see if they end up putting it back up. But they dug up one side of the street. Now they're digging up the other side of the street. Heath says yes, he got a notice. Scott's with us. Good morning, Scott. Hoppa wants to know, will any of them go on cam when you interview them? No. You know what? Maybe, but I wouldn't ask. I don't want to put them on cam. And I'll be honest with you, Happa. The reason is because people that come here, somebody asked this question before. What percentage of men do you think are mentally damaged that come here? Between depression, anger, rejection, whatever. I believe that percentage is high enough that I would worry that we would expose them to some kind of a stalker. And that's the last thing we want to do. Bruce wants to know how many would leave their Filipina partner for a foreigner to have a better life if the opportunity came about. Well, that'd be a hard one to get an answer for, Bruce, because while I know for a fact a couple of them have, actually it's kind of funny. The ones that we know have partners are lesbians. There's a couple of them that are lesbians that have partners but work in this male-oriented field. None of them have ever said, and we've always or often asked in the past, do you have a husband? Yes, I have a husband, but, voila, gone, not there. All right? Or do you have a boyfriend? And they all indicate no. But it's kind of hard for me to believe that none of them do. Miyagi says that he thinks it happens a lot. I think it's possible, that's for sure. Hoppa, I was never into the bar scene, so I don't have any questions, but I do enjoy your BarGirl series. Well, thank you, Hoppa. It is funny. I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now, it's funny. You get to the point where you're almost laughing, and they're laughing with you sometimes. Bruce, but if it's Miyagi says, if it's a LDR, guess who keeps your bed warm when you're in your own country? Yeah. That's probably, I don't doubt that at all, Miyagi. Heath McDaniel, 80% plus, he says. Miyagi, the wager on what we talked about earlier, that it's the same sisters as 20 pesos. The coin, 20 pesos. I have a bunch of them. I hang on to the 20 peso coins. It's funny. I will tip a 50. I will take a 20 peso coin out of my change and replace it with a 50 peso bill. We keep the 20 peso coins for Arlene's nieces and her niece's friends when we go to the province. Papa, yeah, I wish I didn't have stalkers in our palenque, starting with the beggars and so on. You better watch out, Hoppa. One of them's going to take a bolo. Be careful. John at My Little World. I met a Filipina and was screwing around with her, but she had a Pinoy, and there was no way you would have gotten her to leave him. And he was a lazy, let's go play basketball type of guy. You know what? People are what they are. You can't get away from that. And you know something though, John? If she won't leave him, she's not a high value woman. If she won't better herself, if she stands to be treated like that, she's not a high value individual. John says, I know one lady that owned a condo in Manila and a beautiful home in Naga, invested her money well, but was really incapable of having a caring, intimate relationship with someone. Sadly. Well, it is sad. It's terrible. It really and truly is. Everybody deserves an opportunity to a great relationship. They really do. But you got to want it. You got to be willing to work at it. It's not something you just pull off a tree. John says they had about 8 kids now. Wow. How do they support 8 kids? John, that's years of being in the industry suppressing their emotions. It's sad. It's possible. It entirely, it's absolutely possible. Um, Hapa says, I can get those 20 peso coins from the bank, just exchange them at the counter. I can, but, I don't, I mean, we get enough in change all the time that we don't need to worry about it. I must have, I don't know, 400 or 500 pesos in 20 peso coins. And we fill up a coin purse, throw them in a coin purse, and that's what we bring to the province. David says, it seems after watching a lot of YouTubers, it's better to find a girl from the province. I don't agree with you, David. I don't think it's better. I don't think it's worse. I think that our friend Mike's Philippine Journey says it very well. It's not where they're from, but it's how they're built. It's what type of family did they come from? My wife is from the province, but her family is a very honest, trustworthy, caring family. And they raised her that way with honor and dignity and the things that go along with it. Some people do that, some people don't. And the same applies in the city. In the city, there are many areas in Manila, Quezon City, all over. There are many areas that are just as poor as what's in the province. Captain Billy Jack, how you doing, Billy Jack? Hope you're doing well. Oh, now David adds, instead of bar girls. Bar girls are not relationship material. Let's just be, you know what? Bar girls are not long-term relationship material with few exceptions. Don't get me wrong. We have nothing against bar girls. We have a lot of friends that are bar girls. Some of them will make an amazing partner, but will they be an amazing wife? That's a different story. In addition to that, for some of them, the road to redemption is there. But for some, it is far, far beyond their reach. There's an alternative to working at SM and hardly making, 15,000, 20,000 pesos a month, or being a bar girl and making 70, 80, 90,000 a month plus. And that is go to school. Now, some of these girls don't have the funds to go to school, sure, but they can go to school part-time. They can save money. They can do this. They can do that. There are a lot of exceptions. I wouldn't count anybody out, but I would not go to the bars looking for a relationship. Captain Billy Jack, Miyagi, how are you? Miyagi says, David, don't limit yourself to the province. Exactly. Miyagi's telling you, you know what? There's all kinds of opportunity. Okay? Is it instantaneous gratification? No. But finding a relationship is not like going to Burger King. You don't get it your way. It takes time. It's an investment in time and effort and being smart. Hapa, David, it's best to chat with many Filipinas when you're abroad. And then when you get here physically in the Philippines, then you can start weeding them out. Yes, that's definitely an option. You know what we used to call that many, many years ago? That was called pipelining, where you would go on the dating sites And literally, I knew guys that would set up a lunch meeting and a dinner meeting every day with a different girl, each one of those meetings, just to weed them out. All right? It was called pipelining back in the day, but then I'm showing my age. John, David needs to understand a lot of those bar girls are from the province. Absolutely. I think the numbers, I don't have it in front of me, but of all the bar girls that we spoke to, 87% of them, if I'm not mistaken, were from the province. Very few bar girls are from the major cities. And those that are generally not from the same city that they are from. In other words, we have met bar girls from Manila, but they work in Angeles City. They don't want to be tied to that type of work, and so they work in Angeles City. I'm sure that's the same way it is everywhere. Ruby, good morning, young lady. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. Miyagi saying hi. David. Is there a reason why the furniture in your house looks like the set of the Munsters? Yeah. I mean, look at me. Don't I look like Uncle Fester? I mean, come on. What kind of question is that? Home Moonshiners, you need to meet BT. Mike, do you have email? Yes, I do, David. It's in the About section of our description below. And it's also simply Our Philippine Journey at gmail.com. John, working the bars made her great money, but the scars from it were tough on her. Haven't heard from her since the start of COVID. Was wanting money, of course. Yeah, John, I can't imagine. I can't imagine what it's like to make a living on your back and being an alcoholic. Because the more they drink, the more they make. And so therefore, they're downing drinks as quickly as they can. Bruce says, I personally feel that if a girl has been with many men, she may be more likely to wander and not be as loyal a wife as someone that has not that type of life. Best odds to stay away from bar girls. I think, Bruce, you're kind of right, and I kind of disagree with part of it. To begin with, best stay away from bar girls. If you're looking for a relationship, bar girls are just not the direction you should be going. Okay? It's that simple. They make their living crushing men, making men dependent on them. And they make their living finding the weakest men and the laziest men. You know, it's easier and it's less work for me to go to a bar and pick up a girl. It's easier for me to just pay the price. It's convenience. They know that. All right? That's the kind of girl you're working with. On the other hand, I would never, it's not that I would ever have looked. I would never want to enter into a relationship with a woman who's not reasonably sexually mature. That's the best way I can put it. I would not want her to be an innocent know-nothing. At my age, I'm not going to be a teacher. John, the longer they stay in the industry, the deeper the scars. I agree, Miyagi. Mike, in my previous comment on one of your videos on bar girls earning big income, someone should teach them about managing their finances. Yes, Ruby, somebody should. Somebody absolutely should. And now is the time to do it. I mean, right now, these girls, if they dropped 100,000 every 3 months into a 5% CD, which is guaranteed, no loss, you can get it if it's an emergency, get it back. In 5 years, look at what they've earned. All right. Then mature their financial instincts even more. But yes, Ruby, you're absolutely, maybe that's something you could deal with, helping them out. You never know. Because they definitely need a retirement plan. The bars, with few exceptions, there are a few exceptions that you will find a girl in the bars over the age of 35. Okay? And the only reason you'll find her 99% of the time is because she's been there since she was 28. 1% of the time it's because she's just a stunning 35 plus year old. So, Hoppa says, I met my wife via Facebook group chat, and we were friends for years, and I was already here in the Philippines, and she was abroad as an OFW. Wow, Hoppa. Now, she's not abroad any longer. Are you guys are now living together? There are 57.7 million females as of 2023 in the Philippines. Don't limit yourself. Yeah. You can't fit 57 million women on that street. Now, how many of them are single? How many of them are single, never married? How many of them are single, never married, no kids? There's still going to be millions. Millions. Good morning, Mike. I really enjoyed your video. That was funny. It really was. Miyagi, yes, I tried to help her out several times. Is there any money in overpacking Trojans? No. You know what? In fact, that was one of the funniest things that happened to me on one of my very early trips to the Philippines. I had to go pick something up at Ace Hardware. And if you're from the United States, you know Ace Hardware. All right. You know good and well that it's a hardware store, stuff, paint, screws, all kinds of hardware. I get up to the counter, and, the counter at any store, if you know and understand, just like the grocery store, just like 7-Eleven or Circle K, you get up to the counter, they've got munchies, candy bars, this, that, the other. All right, they're impulse items. What's at the counter of Ace Hardware? Condoms. They got plenty of condoms here. Mike says, don't believe that 57.7 million number. It's way less than that. Miyagi, John, you can't help them. Don't waste your time and your money. It's less on certain, Mike says it's less on certain categories once you remove those. So using that 57 million number is just men lying to themselves. Men lie to themselves all the time. Good morning, Dave. How you doing? How's Alaska today? John, that's the same rabbit hole a lot of foreign men fall into. Superhero syndrome. Yeah, you can't. At Dave, Mike was on a call when you were calling. James Harden, is there a reason why Mike's Philippines Adventures is making videos about you saying very bad stuff about snorting Rogaine and eating balut off of Lola's? Okay, James. Boom. Let's see if that works. Hey, James, if you're still out there, write another comment. That's the first time I've ever banned somebody. Hi, this is Dave. Hapa. Mike watches my lives and videos. So nice attempt at the lies. Yeah, I just banned him. You know what? He's probably the same guy that trolled me like 10 times this morning. Um, his main um, his main screen name is Goldfinger, not the guy. It's not the guy from Dumageddon. I guess he's run out of people in Dumageddon to shit on. He's been and all of his troll accounts. So, uh, you know, now he's looking at elsewhere. And Mike, and they call us trolls. Mirage, that was around 2015. I tried to help her, didn't get trapped or hurt financially. I know. Hapa, she's finishing her contract and will be back this year. Take her younger brother back to Dubai, set him up with work before coming back for good. So hopefully in the beginning, well, good deal, Hapa. John, I hope you learned from that experience, brother. John Calder, sometimes a bar girl would get a customer to buy an alcoholic drink, but only drink soda. They are smart. Don't get drunk and make more money. Yeah, John, there's all kinds of tricks to that stuff. Absolutely all kinds. You know what I do? Here's what you should do. You're going to order a drink. What's the girl want? A lot of them want gin and tonic. Okay? Fine. Bring me a glass with tonic and a shot with gin. And then you mix it in there. It's going to cost you an extra 75, 95 pesos because you're getting a can of tonic. But that's good for 2 drinks. Brother Mike, I went with the yearly subscription on CapCut. Nice. See, that's my problem. Isn't CapCut I don't know if I can use that CapCut, if I can use CapCut on my Mac. I do all my editing and everything else on my iMac. So I hate working on my phone. Miyagi, yes, sir, all good here. Mike, that's Timoy in disguise. I don't know. It could be. Could be. You know, Timmy actually came in my channel yesterday and left a comment about how it looked like I was struggling for views. I wanted to go back and just simply say, you know what? I don't need disability and I don't need YouTube to be able to afford Red Horse like you. So it's fine. I don't need it. But you deal with it. Andy, did you recognize some of his screen names? And then welcome to us. So the BarGirl series, though, it's been going well. The sisters were an absolute hoot to entertain and listen to, and to hear their perspective. Another comment, geez, he's a bully in the background. You know what? When you don't wipe your ass well, you get those dingleberries, especially when your ass is big and sweaty and they stick and then rub and then it gets all over in your underwear. I mean, Tim might be having a problem, but you never know. Hoppo wants to know, am I done with the China series? No, I'm not. But I'm holding back on a bunch of stuff until I see what really happens. I want to see what kind of commitment the Philippines is going to make now that they've said they're going to do something about putting some permanent bases out there in the Spratly Island area. So I'm just going to keep my my mouth shut. Dave says, I bought CapCut also for my MacBook Air. So, yes, you can use it for Mac iOS, Doc. Huh. I'll have to take a look at it. I mean, I'm really happy. I use Filmora, and I'm super happy with it. But Katrine Intiana, is there a reason why you're such an uneducated loser who uses Filipino people? Ever notice how you amounted to nothing in your life? Okay, Katrine Intiana. I don't know. I guess I could spell, well, whatever. You know, Katarina, here's the good thing. I wonder, do you guys think Katarina is a girl? Because, I mean, it sounds to me like maybe she's got that cooter drip, drip, drip issue. Poor Katarina. Another one. Captain Billy Jack. I have never banned anybody from a live stream, but today, 2 of them. Hello, Mike. Andy. Sup, Captain? What bar does Arlen? What is the bar fine, may I ask? Well, we will take care of that. Let's see. Keep it coming. Who has better steaks, Thailand or the Phils? Never had a steak in Thailand. Their food is just too good for that. I've never had a desire. Now, I will tell you, the wings at Hooters at Nana Plaza, they're pretty damn hard to beat. But that's in Bangkok, not Pattaya. The Hooters in Pattaya is closed. Pedro wants to know, what are these trolls? I don't know, Pedro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me in the least little bit. Miyagi, Philippines has a permanent base out there. It's an old ship. They disable and use it. Yeah, Miyagi. And it's getting ready to sink from what I've looked at it. And to be honest with you, they know they got to put out something that's going to hang up. So we'll see. It's Jordan Melby. I recognize some of those sick accounts. I don't know Jordan Melby. I really don't, Mike. Aloha, Pedro. Captain Billy Jack. Thanks in the Kiki Red. It's Kiki Red. Das Moon, neither one, but they're both improving. Oh, you know what? Let me see here just for a second. Let's take a look at something here. Bum bum, 880 comments. Well, okay. So I got Filmora and I'm happy with it. That's what Andy says. Mike Ross, Jordan Melby, huh? I don't know Jordan Melby. I wonder what his major malfunction is with me. They're coming out of the woodworks tonight. Ruby, who did you mess up this morning, Mike? It seems you've got a few trolls. Ruby, I swear to God, Ruby, I haven't said anything bad about anybody in weeks. Absolutely not weeks. So I have no idea. Even that eat shit comment that Tim K sent yesterday, all right, I was very complimentary of him in my video about him bringing his wife to America. Pedro, I've flown Cathay Pacific, but it's been about 8 years since the last time. It was good. I enjoy them. Dale says, look, you're popular enough to attract trolls. I guess, Dale. I don't know. Dr. Richmond, how much for these bar fines and how much will she want for the action in the hotel room? Well, Dr. Richmond, I will tell you two different things. First off, answering your question from yesterday, I went down this morning and I picked up the rental rates for candy, for all the candy properties. I was incorrect. I thought it was 65,000 a month for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath here, but no, it is 72,600 plus electric. So it's $1,296.54 for to rent a 2-bedroom, 2-bath by the month here at Candy, plus the metered electric. Now, how much are the bar fines? Bar fines vary on time of day and location. I have heard that daytime, high up on perimeter, you can get bar fines for 3,000, and I've heard of bar fines going as high as 8,000 at night, in particular at one of the Korean bars on Walking Street. So it just varies. Pedro, yes. If you got Tim comment, means his sock accounts and Tim a few trolls. Yeah, I got a comment from Tim yesterday saying, hey, bud, it looks like you're struggling with views. Maybe it's time to make another video about me. I think maybe what he really does is he wants me to make another video about him. But whatever. Mike says Cathay is still a nice airline. Ruby says she flew Cathay years ago, Manila to Heathrow, but it wasn't a good experience. I've flown Cathay twice. I want to say around 2016 may be my last time I flew them. LAX to Hong Kong, and then they put me on something else, Hong Kong to Manila. Miyagi says, Ruby, it's a crapshoot with Cathay. All right, 60 people in the live stream, not counting the ones I banned and kicked out already, but that's a good number for us. Small channel like we have. To answer your question, Doc, it's a balmy 5 degrees in Anchorage. And I use the word balmy with reluctance. I can't imagine. Yeah, Mike, we fly JAL business class quite often. So, but I don't know what I've done to piss Tim off this time, and I really don't care. And I don't know why I got his trolls, or I got somebody's trolls. I have no idea. I had a troll this morning. Telling me I'm exploiting girls for doing the BarGirl series, and that he's going to report me to YouTube for exploitation. So I said, fine, go right ahead. And that was this morning. And so I banned him. And then I got a couple more, and they were accounts that had just been started in the past 30 days. So I banned them too. So Andy says, when I came in 2010, bar fine $1,200, $1,500. Now in 2020, $4,500 to $6,000, depending on status. Yeah, it ain't cheap to play, fellas. Or it's not as cheap as it used to be. How often do the bars renew their staff? Or are they constantly hiring? Yeah, Pedro, they are definitely constantly hiring. In fact, it's funny. For like 3 or 4 months, Carousel dropped off my radar so fast, because it was just gotten short of staff, and what was there was hardly appealing. Yet, the other night, we went in there, and they have like an A team and a B team. Their A team was all very, very attractive. So, yes, they're constantly hiring. Dave says, don't sleep on Starlux Airlines. Plus, the flight attendants are so nice. Andy's like, yeah, it tripled so fast. Miyagi, trolls lurking in the background. I don't know for what, though. Yeah, I'm assuming they are. It doesn't matter to me. We have nothing to hide. They just started doing a straight flight from LAX to Manila. Now I think it's Southwest, not sure 100%. Heath McDaniel says, a direct flight from LAX to Manila now. I don't think it's Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airline is almost exclusively older 737s. In fact, I don't know that, I think the last I remember, the only international flight Southwest Airline had, and this was years ago, was into Mexico City, Cancun, and Cabo, and I think into Vancouver and Toronto. But you know what? Things change. Andy, Ruby says that's what inflation does. I'm bursting somebody's fantasy bubbles. I must be. Look, you know what? I don't want to burst people's bubbles. I really don't. But isn't it better that people be aware of what is going on before they get here? Why, I would rather see them waste money on something that might bear fruit than to throw money away on something that is highly unlikely to bear fruit. Now, if you're a guy, you're just coming over here to boom boom, and you're wanting to boom boom the best and cutest and this and that, whatever, more power to you. But if you're looking for a relationship, quit listening to these YouTubers that are just painting you pictures. First off, you've got YouTubers that don't even live in the Philippines. Then you've got YouTubers that say, well, I've been coming here since 2002. Well, you know what? 2 weeks at a time, a month at a time, that's not enough time to do anything. Then you've got YouTubers that have never been anywhere but the one place that they live. Take a look at their videos. Take a look and see, you know what? Are they doing a walking, talking video in this city? Or are they just using stock footage talking about that city? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? There are too many people that are blowing smoke up other people's asses. And I get, if I had to do YouTube to make a living, then I guess I would too. All right, because if I had to do YouTube to make a living, then I didn't run my life well. I'm not saying that people shouldn't. There are digital nomads, there are young guys, there are everything else. But you just got to be able to don't let these young guys, tell you got to go to the province to get a good girl. 87% of the girls that we interviewed at the bars last week were from the province. All right? They're, it's not where you're from, it's how they were raised. Okay? You can find great women in the cities. You can find great women in the towns. And you can find great women in the province. But you can find bad women in each one of those as well. Dr. Richmond says $1,296 a month is way too much. For some people, it is. Okay? And that doesn't count the electric bill, Dr. Richmond. Okay? It does not count the electric bill. Andy says, Ruby, I don't know. Girls are still 500 to 1,000, so it's not inflation. I'm telling you, Andy, you're gonna have to stay away from those low budget girls. Come on, leave the freelancers alone. Richmond, you told us how much the bar fine is, but how much will some of the action? The bar fine includes the action. Okay? The bar fine includes. If you want to give them an additional tip, that's fine. They're going to ask for it. All right? Many of them will ask for an additional tip. All right? But just say no. Most tourists get the 2,000 to 3,000 short time prices. Mike Ross, 4,000, 500, 6,000. Wow. Sounds like a tourist trap. Meanwhile, the local trike driver is paying less than 1K short time. If he's paying 1K, I would be surprised. Eric Sherman, it's Philippines Air. How you doing, Eric? Welcome. David, United is doing it. It's a tourist trap, Andy says. Come on, fellas, the chase is half the fun. You don't need to pay for it. No, you don't. I mean, Mike, you pay for it eventually no matter what. All right? But that's part of the dating process. You don't, you know something? My age group does not believe in splitting the bill with a date. All right? My age group doesn't believe in that kind. We weren't raised that way. Okay? So you're going to pay no matter what, even if it's an innocent, nice situation. Mike, Pedro says, Mike, they don't want the chase. They want quick and easy. Yes, Pedro, and that is big part of the problem. Peter, how are you, Peter? Peter Berg with us in the house. Andy says, I'm a young guy. The only time I go to the province is to get some no strings attached fun. There you go. That's Andy's outlook. Not really for relationships. Peter says hello to everybody. Pedro says, you can find great women, but they are mostly working, so you have to get lucky when out and about. And I think Pedro's right. You're not going to find, good women that don't work are hard to find. I'm not sure how you find them. Hopper says, I believe a YouTube content creator who's physically been in the Philippines and one who's been here lots of times versus someone who still fantasizes about it here in the Philippines. You know what, Hoppa? Do yourself a favor. Don't believe any of them. Listen to what they have to say and then do some research yourself. Okay? Verify. Always verify. Our Philippine journey. That's outside fields. I don't deal with with the Santos. Those are regular girls. I don't think I would ever see you dealing with the A Santos girls. Elvis says, hello, Ruby. Let's see here. How's the video doing on the sisters this morning? Wow. 4 hours, 5 hours, 900 views. That's a lot for us. That video's doing well. We're quite happy with it. Yeah, the sisters were a lot of fun to interview. That's for sure. They were very, very funny. We have one more that we're going to do before we go out with a new set of questions. So if you're watching, please watch the BarGirl video interviews. I think you'll find them interesting. But in the comments, all right, in the comments. Give us some questions you'd like us to ask that weren't asked. Mike wants to know what's Asantos. Asantos, and that's correct, exactly how you spelled it. Asantos is a street. It used to be known as BJ Road years and years ago. Mike, that's a quote from other expats who are thinking about coming here to the Philippines. Yeah, there you go, Hapa. Did most of the bar girls have kids? Actually, it's about a 50-50, Pedro. Um, um, I would say maybe more like a 70-30, yes. Okay. I didn't keep track, to be honest with you. Maybe I should next time. Let me write that down. How many of the girls' percentage have kids? 9, 10. How many of the girls have kids and percentage against the base amount? Okay, we'll put that in there, and add that to the questions for sure. Pedro, Ruby, Elvis is in the building. Indeed, he is, Ruby. Hapa says, I've been here since 2011, back and forth to Hawaii. Elvis, Ruby's laughing. So what else is there to talk about? I mean, I guess as long as the trolls are coming and we've had to deal with it, where are you? You know what? I'll touch on a little bit about, no, you know what? That's a subject that Mike can go further into. What else? How long on average do the girls last in the bar? Oh, I don't know, but hold on. I missed one up here. How many baby daddies? Number 12. How long in the bar? Yes, John. That's exactly what it was called, Blow Road. All right. Hapa, I wonder if any of the kids are from expats and if they're being taken care of. I have no idea, Hapa. I really don't, but I would assume some of them are. So Andy wants to know, all right, this is interesting. Andy wants to know, what will your sample population be, the margin of error, and the confidence level for the bar girl regular versus the single mom ratio, I imagine. I don't know. And you know, Andy, it's uh, it's hard to equate and rationalize how to put those out, because you know that some of what they tell me can't possibly always be true. Ricky's like, sure wishing we were there. 17 inches of snow. Oh my God. Age range of and percentage of ages of the dancers. Well, I can only get the ages from the girls we interview. We can only do so many interviews. But like I said, you know, most of the girls are not going to hire anybody over the age of 33. MF, lesson learned. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. I sent $10,000 to a Filipina and now she's blocked me. What should I do? Well, there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, do you know her real name? Do you know where she really lives? Do you have something in writing? Shit, that's a lot of money. Had you ever met MF? Have you ever met her before? Have you ever physically been to her family's and understand or know where they live? Yeah. Miyagi's like, why? MF, send me 1K and I will tell you. That's what Mike says. MF, send me the next 10K, Pedro says. How much is the average bar fine? And how much does a girl get when she's bar fined? 50%? No. I can tell you right now, for instance, a typical 4,000 peso bar fine, the girl will get 1,900. The bar gets the rest. And somewhere in there, the bar pays the mama-san some. $33. I'm just saying 33. 30 is probably closer to it, Pedro. Again, something, they don't want older women. If you haven't been working there since you were 25, you're not going to walk in there at 35 and get a job unless you are stunning. Hoppa wants to know, was it through Western Union? JRAU, given the answers you got on the condom usage question, I guarantee some of the children were fathered by non-Filipinos. I agree, JR. I absolutely agree. Hoppa wants to know, was it through a deposit to her account? John MF, two things. Be happy you didn't send her $20,000 and kick yourself in the ass. Well, you know what though? John, you learned an expensive lesson. But now you've learned a big enough lesson that you're going to be super cautious in the future. 10 grand is a lot of money to have a girl then block you. You look yourself in the mirror, Fidel. You look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, how the fuck did I convince myself it was a good idea to send that much money? We all have a bad day. Aloha, and did dirty Donald Trump imply it's a shithole country again? Not that I know of, Greg. Not at all. But I will tell you, we try to stay out of the politics. All right. MF, I apologize for joining around, but it's the 21st century. Men should know better with all the available info out there. They should. Eric Sherman says, send me 10K. I'll even blow you a kiss. Were Mike assigning him a dissertation that will be due on April? Oh, no, Andy. I am not going to do that. There's a limit to how much effort I'm going to be in there. That's for sure. Okay? We just don't. You know what? The amount of money that we make on YouTube doesn't even cover a night out bar hopping. That's how little we make on YouTube. So, Craig, Andy Omar, the biggest troll in the Philippines. I don't know if he's the biggest troll. MF, what should you do? Send her another 10K and ask her to unblock you. Ruby, Why would you send 10,000 to a woman if she's your wife, maybe, and for good reasons, but why she needs $10,000? Kiss her if she unblocks you and your 10,000 goodbye. Andy's thanking Craig. He really appreciates it. I don't know much about Craig. Do you know anything about Craig, Andy? Ruby, for her nails and hair. Maybe for her teeth, Ruby says. Oh my God. Here we go again. Folks, we don't do politics in here. Period. End of story. So Greg, you're out of here. Eric Sherman, hey. Man, we're fast approaching. We're at 66. We're almost there to 70. Andy says, I've been working hard for that title, Miyagi, and hard to keep. Too many people in the game now. Did you ask the working Filipinas if they have kids? Mostly do. That's why they're working in the sex work industry. A good percentage do. But you know something, John? We are going to do a video on cherry girls. Okay? So if you don't know it, cherry girls are employed by the bars as well. Now, all I can do is say this. There are, in every bar we go to, cherry girls. Every bar has cherry girls. And there's a price that could be paid to make her not a cherry girl. But we know cherry girls that have worked for over a year, and they are still cherry girls, and they don't have kids, but they will bar fine. They just know boom boom. Dr. Richmond, how about opening the granny bar where all the girl dance are old granny? I don't think that one's going to work, Dr. Richmond. And he says he's got no clue about Craig. I think Craig's gone by now. We've given him plenty of opportunity to speak up. Let's see here. Is 70 your record in Alive? No. Our record in Alive is 73. 73 is the most we've ever had in Alive. Let's see here. Oh, that's it. Ian Ireland. Oh, hello. Good morning. 3:07 UK. Wow, Ian, you're up early. Miyagi says, Andy, do you need a title belt? We can make Andy a certificate. Miyagi, you want to do that? We can make him a certificate. He can hang it up on the wall. Ross, I think he got over 100. No, I've never had over 100. I wish I did. That's for sure. No, Craig, just asking, where are you from? What are you doing? What brings you here? Abortion is illegal in the Philippines. That's why there's so many single moms. Yes, abortion is illegal in the Philippines. But you know what? The day after pill is not illegal. And Plan B is not illegal. Okay, Craig, where are you from? What brings you in? Working a night shift. Really busy, obviously. Okay. Wow. Sorry you're having to work in 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I'm trying to think. I've never been to Ireland. I hear it's beautiful. I'll be honest, I've never been. I've been to Scotland, but I've never been to Ireland. Um, so I'm not real sure about that. Wait, Plan B is not. Plan B is available, Pedro. It has a different name here, but Plan B is available. You know what? Let me rephrase that. Plan, I'm pretty sure Plan B is available, but not under that name. But 48 from Australia, got a Filipino girlfriend, just saw your channel a few weeks ago and liked it. Well, thank you, Craig. Thank you very much. Welcome to the channel. Now, is your girlfriend here in the Philippines and you're in Australia, or do you go back and forth? How's that working for you? Abortion is illegal in the Philippines, but teaching them sex education and family is legal. Yes, indeed. And they should have a refresher course like every year. Some of those women don't believe in abortion. That's true. A lot of Catholic women do not believe in abortion as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, but those are things that, you know what? I don't feel like I can answer those kind of questions um, because I'm not a woman. I'm not a woman that could weigh in on that. You know what, Dr. Richmond? What's included in the bar fine is what you and her negotiate before you pay the bar fine. 99.9% of the time, it is exactly as you think it is. But you're not going to bar fine a cherry girl and boom, boom. Because then she wouldn't be a cherry girl anymore. Now, would she? No. The last cherry girl that we knew, her bar fine for it all was, I think, 75,000 pesos. That's what it costs to uncover that treasure box. Yes, I'm living in Perth and visit every 6 months. Actually, coming again on Thursday. Oh, well, we hope you have a good trip, Craig. We really and truly do. I'm not sure who you're asking is how old they are. MF. Well done with your show, Mike. You have handled yourself well. Keep it up. Keep it real. Keep it positive. Thank you, Elvis. You have a great day. Dr. Rich, that's just to get them out the bar. Yeah. Sex education and basic family planning is taught in high school in the Philippines. So if these girls didn't finish high school, they wouldn't know any better. Yeah. I would imagine it is. You know, I saw an article the other day that said that they may be going back to K through 9 or K through 10, and then 11 and 12 being optional like it is in Thailand. Elvis, are you true Elvis fan? Andy says in 2010 it was 40K. Inflation, Andy, what can I say? Hello, Darren from Davao, enjoying the conversation. Hey, Freedom Choice. Darren from Davao. You know what? Davao is on my list of places to try and visit this year to come up with time. I really would like to go there, to be honest with you. Chris Bagasan, 75 is what I paid for my corgi puppy 5 years ago. There you go. I liked your legal issues vids you did last week. Well, thank you, Craig. Thank you. They didn't cover everything, but they were generally pretty good. How much is it? Pedro wants to know how much is a ticket from Perth. Elvis says he was named after the king of rock and roll. MS says fathers in the Philippines encourage their daughters to date foreigners from a very young age. I don't agree with that at all, MF. I really don't. You know what? Where did you get that data from? Where did you find that data? Let's back that up with some relative data, something we can get our hands around. All right. I can tell you, Arlene's father did not encourage her to date a foreigner. Brewmeister, super chat. Wow. Not all of us who are quiet are looking trolls. Brewmeister. First off, that's the biggest super chat I've ever gotten. And that's incredible. Thank you so much, Brewmeister. Arlen and I certainly appreciate it. And we will put that towards our BarGirl Interview fund. Mike says, MF, that's not true. Elvis, copy that. I was going to test your Elvis fan status. 2,400 to 3,000 Canadian for flights from Halifax to Cebu. Wow. Wow, you can get a 400, so that'd be a 800 Canadian round trip. Okay. Brew's back there being very quiet, but he's making his presence well known. That is for sure. That is absolutely for sure. So I'm trying to figure out where we were. Oh, yeah, with education, sex education, you know. Traditional Filipino families would never groom their daughters to marry a foreigner. I got to tell you, Ruby, I would find it hard to believe that even non-traditional families would. I mean, certainly I know it's an available option, but to encourage it, to push a child in that direction, I don't know. Miyagi, Ruby, those of you that live here, do you really think that is something that is something that comes around? I mean, do you think some families groom? Do you think there's a respectable percentage of families that would groom their daughters to date to date foreigners? Dr. Richmond, 75,000 for a cherry girl is around 1,300. She can claim to be a cherry girl, but the proof is in the pudding. What if you find the pudding is not virgin pudding? Do you get your money back? I don't think anything comes with a. I don't think anything comes with a. I don't know why that's popping up there. Let's do this. Take that there. Put that there. There we go. I don't think anything comes with a guarantee. Wow, another super chat. 2 super chats in one live. Wow, Happa, thank you. Thank you. We'll certainly appreciate it. That is just really, really grateful. And that will go to the BarGirl Interview Fund. Nice, Brewmaster. True statement as well. Some of us learn more by listening. Happa, enjoy your doggy. Mahala, Ruby. Who loves you, baby? I wish I could say it like Telly Savalas, but I can't. Missoula, Montana, Carlton. I used to know somebody in Missoula many years ago. Many years ago. You enjoy our channel. Thank you. Thank you so much. We try. We do the best we can. Ruby says, not the families I've known all my life and the neighborhood I grew up. And you know something? I don't know. You know what, Ruby, Miyagi, a couple of the others of you that live here and lived here a long time, tell me what you think. I think a lot of the quote unquote province is vastly unexplored by foreigners. And I think the exposure to foreigners in a lot of the province is highly limited. And I would find it hard to believe that even the least educated parents in the provinces who have very little interaction with foreigners groom their children to marry a foreigner. Would they groom their children to marry well, to marry better? Hegemony. I can't even say it today. All right. Yes, of course. Absolutely. I really do. But you could have, you could groom them to date good Filipino men. And the way you do that is you educate your daughter and you install virtues and you do everything that goes along with that. Hoppa says, Mike, I think that's a false for grooming of girls to date expats. I do too. That's why I'm waiting to see some data. Where would that data have come from? Ruby, what? Anyone eating their dog? I'm coming over. Askal, huh? Miyagi, not that I love my dog and never imagined eating my dog at all. Ruby, I agree, if anything. It might raise some eyebrows. If girls dating a foreigner, some families would even not allow it or look on. However, keep in mind, look at that video that Mike's Philippine Journey did this morning. Look at his live. All right. That's an entire group of girls who all have parents where the barangay apparently is pushing them to become involved with foreigners. That is grooming. So I mean, there is some truth to that. And I mean, apparently this something Soho woman that did the expose on it is highly reputable. So, but look at that live from today on Mike's Philippine Journey, and I'll put the link below when I post this, and you'll see that it does happen, unfortunately. Man, I have found as I get older, a bit older, that bar girls are a non-issue for me. Okay? They're a convenient outlet for many. That's pretty much the way it goes. Cherry girls. Yeah, I don't even know how that would say that. Is that E2 VTV or E2 VTV or ELLV? I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of it. I just don't know how to address you. I'm sorry. Cherry girls. Older gals are better from my experience. I would agree. Joke lang. I love dogs. I have a Visala. Okay. Hoppa. If it happens that their daughter dates a Filipina, I'm sorry, if it happens that their daughter dates a expat, then it's okay as long as the expat is respectable. Let me see here. Hold on. Oh, yes. Arlene sent me a message. She's apparently watching this live in another room. I want to also say thank you to a Canadian guy. I did not get his name. Arlene and I were talking to girls, the bar interviews, all right? And a subscriber from Canada recognized us, came over, introduced himself to us, introduced himself to Arlene, shook my hand, and he was drinking with girls as well. And he made a very generous donation to our bar bill. And I don't mean by jacking the bar bill up, but he actually gave us some money to contribute. And so I want to say thank you for that. It's not often that happens. In fact, that's like the second time I've actually had a subscriber contribute. So it's not something we actually try and not do that. But it was interesting and nice. And the guy was a really nice guy. So I hope we run into him again. Mike Ross, I've got many Chinese friends. Their kids must marry at least someone half Chinese and have a little. Yeah, the Chinese are pretty rigorous about that. And have a little money also. My girl is from Bilaran, but living in Venezuela City. She's 41. Nice, Craig. Very nice. I don't know exactly where. I know where Venezuela City is, but I don't know where Bilaran is. Would not allow a foreigner. Chinese is a different culture. Indeed, it is. Ruby's got a Cocker Spaniel. Yeah, from Bilaran would be Ware, I think. I bet, but I could be wrong. Pedro says, I didn't see many foreigners in the province. I would think dating a foreigner would be rare. I agree, Pedro. I can tell you it is extremely rare when we go to Mindanao, and our home is in northern Mindanao, up by Surigao City. But about 45 minutes from Surigao City, and it's a town of about 5,000, 7,000, and it's very rare that in the entire time that I will be there, I will see a foreigner in town. Very rare. So Pedro, yes, I definitely agree with you. Miyagi says it depends on which province, and obviously some are more apt to have, like Dumaguete. I bet you there's more foreigners in Lapu-Lapu than normal. All right, I can tell you that in our town, they're just I've run into 3, I think, in the years that we've been. Just stay single, man says. It's not rocket science. Some people don't want to be single, though, man. Some people don't want to be single. All right? So, you've got to take that into account. Mike Ross, I saw Mike's live. That's more of an online scam, if anything. Majority of those people will never meet in person. I agree, Mike. I mean, I think it is, but who knows? Mike got to work. I'll just lurking in the background, just listening. See you. Take care, Miyagi. All right? Be good. We'll see you in a few days. Miyagi, I can only speak on Mindanao since I spent the most of my time there. Pedro, where in Mindanao do you go? Miyagi, she speaks Tagalog at home in Manila, but Bisaya. Oh, okay. Okay, Bisaya. Ian says, I don't think you can generalize about all Filipinos do this or no Filipinos do that because everyone is different and the family values of Filipina is stronger than a lot of other countries. Perhaps, Ian, I think you can't generalize about anybody. I mean, if you've ever met a devout Catholic Mexican, their family values are incredibly high. Um, you know, so I think it just goes in a whole lot of different directions. But yes, no, you can't generalize. Ian's actually correct. I should know. I've been married to a Filipina for over 32 years. Wow, Ian, that's tremendous. Billaron, yeah, I knew I'd heard of it. Craig, I wasn't sure. I do know where Tacloban is. MF, all the hot girls are in Mindanao, but it's a dangerous place. We go to Mindanao all the time. I have plane tickets already. We're going to be going to Mindanao in March. We own property. We own a home in Mindanao, and we've never ever had a problem. Not even close. We ride the buses on the highway. We drive our vehicles on the highway there. We've never had a problem. Now, that being said, we don't go deep south Mindanao. Not at all. In fact, we don't even go to Cagayan de Oro. Ian, congratulations for staying married. Yes, absolutely. Ian says, thanks, Ruby. Another 10 years, I'm retiring there. Got a family house and 3 condos in Manila, Bulacan, and Palawan. Wow, you're planning it very well. Good for you, Ian. Mike, what's your opinion on men that keep a mistress? If a man's married and he's cheating on his wife, my opinion is he's a piece of shit. That's pretty simple. But I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy. Now, if he's married, can't get a divorce, separated, and lives with somebody else, but technically a mistress is a side piece, and no, I just don't. I just don't deal with that. So Pedro's been to CDO, Iligan City, and Dapitan. None of which I've been to, Pedro. I'll be very honest with you. The furthest south that we go is pretty much in the Butuan area. All right. But maybe this next trip we'll explore a little bit. Who knows? Not all older Filipinas are experienced. Mine's 45. And when I first met her, she was in her late 30s. She had 2 kids, but I found out really quick that she was uneducated sexually. Whoops, forgot to put that up, John. Yes, John. And you know something? I should have said something about that because you're absolutely correct. Getting pregnant doesn't take a lot of practice, and you're correct. So it doesn't mean you have a lot of experience. 10 years is a long time. Hope you stay healthy to enjoy your retirement, Ruby says. Pedro says, I go to Mindanao twice a year. Never had an issue. At MF, I'm in Jensan visiting friends annually. Been doing that for a decade. Never had a problem. John says, my girl is in Mindanao and I've also never had a problem. There you go. But again, I mean, we all have to admit the truth. Deep South Mindanao is a crapshoot. You've got a lot of Abu Sayyaf and other things going on down there. But that doesn't mean all of Mindanao is like that. Mike Ross, fine until you get caught, which you will. Yes, indeed. There are very specific areas in Mindanao not to go to, but in my opinion, the majority of the island is safe from my experience, especially Davao. Yeah, you know what, Mike? We drive back and forth. We drive the entire route up and down several times a week from Surigao City all the way to Butuan, getting supplies, going out to eat, bringing the kids places, stuff like that are down there. Man, have you met the guy from Every Man Has a Story? Can you do an interview together? That would be, I think you're talking about Mike Thornton. No, I've never met him, and we don't live in the same town or city, so the odds of that would be slim to none. Most of the guys I know who maintain a mistress, the wives know, but if news gets closer to home, all hell will break loose. Well, I don't know. You know what? If to me, the definition of a mistress is a secret side piece. So if your wife no longer wants to put up with your TT, all right, if she doesn't find your Johnson pleasing any longer, and you say, you know what, honey, this is a part of life, and she says, it's okay, go ahead, well, that's fine. But to me, a mistress is somebody that your wife doesn't know about. That's just the opinion that I have. Frank Batagalia from Philippines Interest. I know the name. I know of him. I've seen stuff. I have no idea. You know, we don't get much into drama. We really try and avoid it for the most part. So, you can talk to me about Fazio and Batagalia and all the other guys that do drama, and you're going to find out we're pretty much just even keeled on it. We try and stay out of it as much as possible. Why are Filipinos so jealous? I don't know. Obviously, they never met my ex-wife number one, because she's American and she was a very jealous woman. MF, because they're women. Pedro, that's probably the best answer you can give. Craig says, take care. Thanks for the chat. Enjoy your day. Take care, Craig. Thank you for dropping in. MF, many have reasons to be jealous. Some Filipino men have a wandering eye. I think all men could be categorized as being some men. I don't think it's dedicated to just Filipinos. Jan, hey Jan, how are you? When did you get here? I was in Labasan, Mindanao. My wife's family had stories about pirates kidnapping a white guy off the beach. So hiding the guy on a fishing boat. Who know when? You know what, Jan? I don't know where exactly that is, but if that's that deep area of Mindanao, it's possible. And if that's out into the Sulu Sea, it is known to have pirates. Daniel says, yeah, I like the look. I am certain. Jan says, I woke up, I sleep days, so I saw you live and wanted to say hi. Well, thanks for dropping in, Jan. You caught us before we called it quit. It's been an hour and a half, and I'm sure I need to get things done. So I want to thank everybody. Please, I really appreciate it. You guys, we hope you have a great day. hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up. And we wish you a very, very best. Take care, everybody.